Hey friends, Shadylikeatree here, and welcome into Reminiscing with Shady, episode 85. This is Hot Shots Golf 3, or also known as Everybody's Golf in Japan. This game was released on the 11th of March of 2002. It was developed by Clap Hands and published by Sony Computer Entertainment, or just Sony as it's more commonly referred to. It was released on PlayStation 2 exclusively. I've done another Hot Shots game in the Reminiscing with Shady series. I believe the very first Hot Shots game on PlayStation, the original PlayStation, was one that I had kind of talked about and discussed. But as I was thinking about that episode, I wanted to kind of showcase this episode, and kind of just talk about how bad of an actual golfer I am while thinking about this game, because this gameplay kind of showcases how bad I am at Hot Shots golf, but at the same time I'm also very, very bad at regular golf. This game didn't really improve a whole lot other than maybe graphically from the earlier installments, so I'm going to kind of stay away from discussing some of those things. Anyway, when I was a teenager and a younger adult, I used to go golfing with my dad all the time. This was prior to college, when I was in high school and middle school and things like that, as I managed to get a par on the first hole. I don't know how. But we would go golfing at this local golf course, and it was kind of it wasn't a great course, like it wasn't PGA Tour level, but it was cheap, it worked, and we could play there and have a good time. We would sometimes walk the course, we would sometimes ride the course. It just depends on how we felt and how long we wanted to be out there. But one of the things I'll fondly remember is there's this kind of like the Scioto River kind of runs next to the course and kind of goes around it and flows through it. And every time a ball would manage to go into the river, as I've hit multiple balls into this little pond, I would say, well, that's a hot shots golf shot, because I was notorious in this game as well for hitting my golf ball into water or off the course, or not really hitting it where I wanted to. And I don't think my dad ever really understood that joke, but I thought it was funny to me, because yeah, I'm bad. But anyway, another kind of funny story is that I got my first ever par on that course. It was a par 5, and I was hitting the driver, and I hit maybe the best shot of golf I'd ever hit in my life. I just absolutely just rocketed this thing down the fairway, right down the middle, kind of like that shot, just right down the middle, right exactly where it needed to be. It was sitting up good, and so I took out my 3-wood and I whacked it again once we got down there, and I was on the green in 2, which was unheard of for my level of golfing ability. I had a terrible slice. I had very limited power. I'd often dribble it into the dirt when we'd get tired, things like that. But I somehow made it on the green in 2, and I was able to 3-putt for a par. I hit a long one, and then kind of a one that wasn't as long, and then a tap in for par, which was my first par. And I remember celebrating that, thinking, "Oh man, that's a great shot." And that right there, that's kind of reminiscent to some of the shots that I've hit, where they've gone like 4 feet in front of you, and they've kind of been like a grounder back to the pitcher. Anyway, this game is a lot of fun to play with friends. I did have friends over. We did have a couple Hot Shots golf tournaments when I was in middle school on the PlayStation 2. I don't think I've actually ever mentioned this, but at one time back in the high days of my PlayStation 2, I made it my mission to have enough equipment that everyone could have their own memory card and everyone could have their own controller. So I actually had 2 of those. I forget what they're called, but they're like the expanders. There's like a little square black box where you can plug 4 controllers and 4 memory cards into each one. I had 2 of those. I had 8 controllers. I had red, blue, green, black, silver, white. I think I had a bunch of different blues and reds. I eventually destroyed them all because I raged at Madden on quite a lot. But I had 8 controllers. I had I think 12 memory cards at the time. And I mean, memory cards back then, for the 8 gigabytes of memory, that was like $35-40. They were expensive. When you can get, 164 gigabyte iPhone for, $800. I probably spent that much money alone on all these extra devices. I would always have my friends over for to play these games and play this game, and they would always laugh at me because they're like, "Well, you own this game, yet you're really terrible." And sure enough, I say I'm really terrible when I get a birdie, but it doesn't help out the rest of the score. But yeah, they would always beat me. I would rarely, if ever, win, just because for some reason I could never get the timing down. I could never perform well in front of others. And so, and oftentimes too, I would take shots like this where it would be kind of a bad deal because I'd hit something and, people would kind of, make fun of me and give me crap for that. But at the end of the day, this is just a fun kind of party game with friends. I do know that this game was made into an arcade style version. I don't know if it was Hot Shots Golf 3 specifically, but Everybody's Golf I do remember playing in the arcade at a bar just a couple years ago. So it's kind of nice to see that this game from the past is coming back and is played today. But anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for watching this video. This has been Reminiscing with Shady, episode 85, Hot Shots Golf 3. Thank you so very much for watching, and if you like this video, please leave a like and let me know in the comments. As always, DFTBA, and I'll see you next week for episode 86.